What's going on, guys? I'm Matt, this is Addicted to Tools, and today I thought I would take you through a few of my opinions on apprentices in the trade, what you guys should be doing, a few tips, tricks, all that sort of stuff to make a good impression to the tradesman and the company that you're working for. So when you first start off, obviously you've got to remember that you are on the bottom level of the food chain. This might sound a little bit disrespectful, but I've used the analogy that it's basically babysitting. We are looking after you. You will get in the way, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, there's got to be respect both ways, but just remember that you can be a liability, and you've got to be there to try to make the work go a bit better and help the tradesman out. So definitely remember your role there. A lot of guys come in with large egos. I've had guys that don't want to be there. They think they're owed the world. I'm not sure how they come to this conclusion, but they basically don't want to listen to you, they don't want to work, and they don't really care. When it comes to that, we may as well talk about your attitude at work and your motivation. If you can come in motivated with a good attitude every day, that definitely helps. You definitely do see the difference between the guys that aren't motivated and the ones that are. They'll bring their tools, they'll be there on time, they're asking questions, all these sort of things we will go over. But as a whole, all these things come into motivation and why you're there. So make sure you're there to work. If you're not interested in the field, then don't be there. So the next thing would be tools. Make sure you're always prepared, always got your tools. Like, it sounds like a simple and easy one to most people, but I've had people rock up to sites and they don't have basically anything. They rock up with a screwdriver, maybe pliers, and that's it. Very strange. So you should at least have a drill, if not two, an impact and a normal driver, and a pouch, which is just sort of your general screwdrivers, level, pliers, cutters, that sort of stuff. Make sure you're rocking up with that. If not, definitely be bringing your main bag. I don't know how many guys are not bringing a larger bag, either a backpack or just a bag for your larger drills. If you've got drill bits or if you've got hammers, all that sort of stuff. When it comes to drill bits and what else? Hole saws, consumables, I don't believe the apprentice should be taking that. It should be either on the company or at least the tradesman. So let me know what you guys think about that. Next thing with tools is be prepared with just your pocket essentials, your everyday essentials, I call them. So a Nico, a pencil, even a multi-use screwdriver. They're fairly cheap and easy to have. All these things fit in your pocket, and tape. So for your sparkies out there, obviously these bits of advice are for all trades, but when it comes to being a sparky, always have tape in your pocket. The tradesman will always need it and you'll always need it. And if you're prepared, you will look way better compared to a lot of other guys. You'll keep your job and you'll just help the tradesman out heaps. So talking about helping the tradesman out, that's a massive one that I've found that a lot of people don't really talk about, is being one step ahead of the tradesman. So if they're fitting off something, say they're fitting off a GPO, they're about to start stripping the cable, and you're obviously standing there just learning, just watching, take it all in and be one step ahead of them. So have the PowerPoint in your hand, go get your level, have that ready. If you're one step ahead, even on the little things like that, they will see that you are taking it all in. You know what's actually happening. So it's not just watching, but you actually figuring out what should happen next and being prepared for that. So that's definitely a big thing in my books. So the next thing would be asking questions. And I do know that some tradesmen don't like this. They're not fans of apprentices. So take this with a grain of salt and obviously do what the tradesman says and all that sort of stuff. But ask questions. For me, if you're asking questions, it means you're interested, you want to know what's happening, and basically you're learning. So the more questions you can ask, the better. And if you're about to go off and do something and you didn't understand what the tradesman said or what he really wants or she wants you to do, re-ask. Just always make sure you know what you're about to do, especially with electrical. You don't want to be stuffing something up. Either you'll have to redo it again or you can hurt someone, including yourself. Obviously the tradesman should be always watching, but I understand what sort of happens out in the field sometimes. Make sure you're asking the question. I've had people in the past that have just gone off and fit off something and I've come and checked it and it's fully wrong. We've had to spend hours fixing it. Don't be afraid to ask, even come up with an excuse that you didn't really understand, you weren't listening, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you're asking questions. Those that are asking questions, I know that you're interested and don't want to stuff up. So the next thing I would probably say is, with being prepared and one step ahead, if the tradesman gets you to do something and you finish that, make sure you go back and tell them you've finished and ask for the next job. It's actually quite funny to see how many people don't do this. They will then just go off, they'll sit on their phone, they're just not motivated once again, and you need to be asking the tradesman what's next and what's next, what's next. No loitering, no downtime. If you can do that, it's another tick in my book. All right, guys, so that's basically it. These are obviously my opinions, just a few tips on what you apprentices can be doing to help out and make an impression on your tradesmen. Obviously, I've left a few out. I'll have to think about it and do a couple more, I think. If I've done any that you don't agree with, definitely let me know in the comments. And that's it, guys. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. It all helps me out. So take it easy and wait for the next one. Cheers.